The first structured intervention we chose was the Picture Exchange Communication System, also known as PECS. This intervention relies on a child being able to select and exchange a picture card for a desired object. We began this intervention as soon as Ethan was old enough not to eat the picture cards. This was about 13 months. We chose PECS because Ethan lacked vocal or motor imitation skills which precluded spoken or sign language. Our materials included a bin of Ethan's favorite objects and foods, sturdy cards with photos representing the objects and foods, and a high chair to help us secure Ethan's attention. We asked Rosemary, Kristen, and Ethan to recreate teaching Ethan the picture exchange to show you what it looked like. Rosemary is presenting the teaching or stimulus cue, and Kristen is prompting Ethan to correctly respond. Both therapists are using a most to least prompting hierarchy. In other words, they start with a high level of cues and physical assistance to help Ethan be successful, then fade both until Ethan becomes independent. This is what it looked like. For this teaching session, Rosemary chose a toy with parts and gave Ethan free time to prime his interest in the toy. The object is to get Ethan to request for parts of the toy. Initially, Rosemary shows Ethan the toy and names it for him. Then she presents him an open hand cue. Kristen redirects Ethan's hand, which is grabbing for the toy, to pick up the picture of the gear instead. She physically prompts him to hand the card to Rosemary, who will either hand the object immediately to Ethan, or if he tolerates it, brings Ethan's attention back to her face and names the toy again before delivering it to him. Please keep in mind that this is a recreation of the picture exchange with a verbal child. When Ethan began to echo Rosemary, we chose to gradually transition to a different intervention. Here, Kristen uses a gestural prompt, and Rosemary continues with an open hand cue.
Yes.
Gear.
This is an example of an unprompted and spontaneous exchange. Notice Ethan's eye contact with Rosemary as he makes his request. Through picture exchange, Ethan learned that there's a correlation between objects and pictures and objects and words, and that there's a socially mediated currency for getting what you want. At first, the unit of currency was a picture. Later, it was words.